All right. The last time in the last tutorial we had the link. So with this link, with your own app ID, we can get actual, very useful the zip code base the weather information. Okay, let's bring it to the Qt system. Here we go. Okay, so it is pretty much similar to the image download handler, but the in our HTTP manager we have one image download manager. So let's make a new, a new one, a new weather information download manager. Okay, so let's get to the HTTP manager.h and add new network access manager weather API manager, right? Here we go. And this one is pretty well ready. And okay, and the signals and okay. So let me make one more void send weather request, right? QString zip code, right? And image ready was that we need to have one more weather JSON ready. This time we will have a QJSON object JSON because I told you guys the format is called JSON and you will return the JSON object so that your main window can parse it and have it ready and have the weather information displayed on your screen, right? So void image downloaded handler, we need to have its counterpart weather downloaded handler Q network reply star reply, the same thing. So we had send the image request, image ready, image download handler, right? And we now added send weather request, weather JSON ready, weather download handler. So they kind of a dual, right? And we will get to the refactor add definition in CPP file. So we added this one, this one, this one, right? So signal is just a signal kind of outfit, right? It's just a declaration. We don't necessarily have to implement it. And a public send weather request and weather download handler, those two, we need an implementation. So refactor add definition in HTTP manager. So send it is very, 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 very similar to the send image request, right? Yeah, send weather request. What it's supposed to do is to make Q network request, and Q string address is okay. Let's get back to our browser and copy the working address and paste it. And one thing we see is that, okay, here's the zip code. So we want to stop here and plus zip and delete the zip code and plus US like this. Please be extremely careful. I mean, you guys need to make this, right? Weather and blah, blah, and zip and equal and your zip. Probably 98119 initially, but later on you guys can change it, and comma US and app ID blah blah blah. This is your app ID code, right? Yeah, if you don't know this, I mean you should check the prior one previous tutorial real quick. Okay, and then request dot set URL QURL address. It's pretty much the same to the previous, I mean, send image request, right? And the next one is whether download okay, one second. Whether what was our HTTP manager okay, weather API manager, right? So we need to, this is pointer, so we need to set it up in a constructor as well. So in the constructor, comma, weather API manager, new Q network access manager. So we have a weather API manager handy, and we use now weather API manager get request, right? And qdebug, this one just copy and paste qdebug. If you have no again, so it's totally okay for you just to type it in. So like whether request send to address this address, right? It will give us a debug message, right? Okay, and destructor we need to delete the weather API manager. So okay, weather API manager is what we added. So in a constructor you need to initialize it, and destructor you need to delete it. And in the send weather request, most of them usually about the same, but you using the open weather map this time for the address, and then you use weather API manager, and you are sending the request with that address. So use your own key for weather API. Here we go. Okay, that is one. So we done with one, public, the member interface function, and we need to implement the private slot function, whether download the handler. What it's supposed to do as a callback, right? After the weather information is downloaded, right? So refactor, you click and right click and refactor and add definition in HTTP manager CPP, and you have this. It's pretty much about the same, right? You may want to just copy and paste the first block of the image download handler, or feel free to type it in. So this is still in the HTTP manager. So whether reply has arrived, and if the reply error, then you print it out and return. Otherwise, you can say the download was successful, right? And now this is a little bit different. Let me show you guys. So you need to create a JSON object. So after download, your reply actually has the JSON text data. So you need to get that text data into QString. Answer is reply read all, right? And reply. The one thing is that you need to reply delete. Your job with the reply is finished. I mean, you just call the delete later. This is a specific the Qt the functionality to delete the an object allocated in the memory to be safely deleted after this all event logic is done. So yeah, in a similar fashion, actually, you need to, in your image downloaded handler, you guys need to use a reply delete later here too in the image downloaded handler. So yeah. So otherwise, your application may allow some small amount of a memory leak, every request, which is not very good. And then next one you guys are supposed to do is QJSON document JSON response. This is just a style, so you just follow me. QJSON document double colon from JSON answer to UTF-8. Yeah, this is the kind of a text manipulation, and then from JSON text, you guys make a JSON document, and this is actually showing us an error, and you guys can resolve it nice and easy by adding one include. Yeah, here or in the header, JSON. One second, QJSON document. Like this, QJSON document, and then all errors gone, right? And the next is QJSON object. Star JSON object is new QJSON object, and your constructor should get JSON response dot object. This is just something like a grammar, right? Yeah, just take it, and still if you have incomplete type or something, then it's probably you need to add include QJSON object, then this gone. So yeah. Okay, again, for the JSON document QJSON object use, you need to include those two, QJSON document, QJSON object, right? And here we go. And we are almost done. And then we emit a signal, whether JSON ready, and you give JSON object. And then, in your the main window, CPP, it will catch the signal. You need to connect it, right? You catch the signal and then process it, just like the weather, the image information. So in the main window, CPP, what you're supposed to do right now is, okay, let's get back to the main window CPP, and our job right now is to connect HTTP manager, and now we need to process the signal, the whether JSON is ready. Signal whether JSON ready. Is it right? HTTP manager H whether JSON ready and QJSON object in JSON. Okay, here we go. So you may want to copy this or just type it in. Either is fine. So like whether JSON ready, QJSON object JSON, okay, and comma. Please be careful with the open brace and open the parenthesis and a close parenthesis, and this slot process. What can I say? Process the whether JSON, QJSON object star JSON. Probably this is good. And one thing is that we need to declare and implement process whether JSON, the handler in I just make a copy like this up to here, process whether JSON, and copy, and main windows H. Here in a private slot section, let me add void process whether JSON, and we are supposed to implement this. Okay, so after you add this process whether JSON in a private slots, you click refactor and add definition in main window CPP, and here we go. So here now you can process a JSON object, right? And you connect it, and you are now getting the idea what it is. And let's say qdebug JSON value weather. Let me give you guys a quick idea later on, after we confirm this one is working. So this one still says incomplete type QJSON object. Incomplete type something means like you need to include QJSON object. So up there, you go there and include QJSON object, right? Or if you have included this in the HTTP manager, then you may not see this. So it's all gone, right? So now let's run it. Oh, 1 second. So we haven't put any the UI elements to handle that. 1 second. So let me copy this and paste. So like weather download, right? And name it as the weather download button. And we add one label to display the weather information. Weather label, right? Weather label, weather download, and weather label. And let's make a slot for weather download. So clicked, and we have on weather download button clicked. So now let's get the zip code. Like from the UI's zip code edit, we get a text just like the image download, and then now HTTP manager, we are now calling send weather request zip, right? Then if we say 98119, then it will send the weather request to it for the 98119, and let's see what would really happen. And After clicking this, the HTTP manager will work super hard to fetch the data, and then the results JSON, weather JSON will be returned into this function, and we will see the weather value, right? Let's see. I run it, and here we go. And weather download is 98119, and weather request is sent to address, and it doesn't really comes back. Then did I register callback? That's the question. Okay. I haven't the connected a callback for the weather download manager here, right? So we need to also connect weather API manager signal, finish it, Q network reply. It's about the same to the previous connect. So I mean, you may want to copy and paste and then change things as necessary. This slot weather downloaded handler Q network reply, right, and then finish, right. So we connect this, and then weather API manager finish the download, and then it will automatically call the weather download handler, and then weather download handler will do the job and then emit weather JSON ready to the main window, and then main window will handle that, right. So it is just like that. And yeah, it is a good mistake for us to make sure to check everything is ready. Weather download, right. And whether reply has arrived and download was successful, and what's next? Oh yeah, and download was successful, but we don't see the whether JSON ready in HTTP in main window CPP, right? So here QJSON object process weather JSON ready, we connected it, and this slot, right, download was successful. Okay, let's say qdebug JSON ready, right, and for the JSON value, okay, let's see, I think it's all good, right? All right, once again we run it, and whether download, and download was successful. Oh man, but it's a CPP does not send it to download was successful, and JSON response and answer a new QJSON object, and JSON object emit weather JSON ready. Okay, but right now, no such signal HTTP manager weather JSON ready. Oh, what is this? Okay, weather JSON ready. It's weird. I had, the right QJSON object signals. I have okay. I have weather JSON ready QJSON object. Okay, let's just remove it probably. I put the JSON around here. Okay, one second. Let me see. Okay, now it doesn't say anything. Right. So, yeah, connect we don't we shouldn't put the the parameter names around there. So only the type is there and that's it. So I put the accidentally the JSON here around, so it made an error. So yeah. It's just like that. And whether download, JSON is ready, and then QJSON value, whether says description, broken clause, and blah, 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 main clause. Okay, so let me show you guys how to analyze this JSON information, right? So this way, and okay. Let me give you guys a quick heads up how to understand this JSON and how to analyze this. Okay, so first, let me go ahead and copy and paste it in our main Windows CPP for us to parse the JSON, and then let me show you guys quickly how to analyze it. Okay, coordinate. This is JSON, so it has a the curve braces and a lot of structured information. So let me parse it. So coordinate is this, and weather is this, and finishes here, and base here, and main is here, and visibility is here, and wind is here, and clouds is here. So this is how we parse it and analyze the structure one by one. And not every field is necessary, but I'm showing you guys, the overall structure, right? So, okay, if we get the JSON, this JSON is the whole JSON is like this, and then if we say the value of weather, then it will take this and it will fetch the whole value of this. So what you actually see here is actually QJSON array like this, right? So in this case, if you'd like to get this inside inner JSON, this is also another JSON because it is wrapped with curved braces. So okay, this is a list, and this is the this inner JSON is the first element of this list, right, or array. So we refer to that JSON by giving 0, or here more specifically you need to make a complete code. Okay, you have a JSON array and you get 0, and then now what you get is actually this is actually also a JSON. So now you guys need to make point to object, right? And this is the most annoying part in parsing JSON, but it's a necessary evil. So please open your eyes, bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And get ready. Hold on. So this one, so to array here, it is saying also the incomplete, return type QJSON array. It's saying QJSON array. Okay, we need to include the QJSON array. Include QJSON array, and then later on we don't see anything. Okay, so this one is actually QString weather is like this. And please be careful in the grammar. And then what you will get is main clouds. So in this way, value weather and to array and the first item and to object, and then you get a main, and then now as a result of this last two string, what you get is clouds, right? And if you'd like to have this description broken clouds, then QString weather description is, you copy and paste, and not main description like this. And what else? Okay, let's talk about the pressure. And here we want to have a double value for not pressure but on temperature. Double temperature is JSON value. Temperature's main, the value is actually first value is main, right? And no, value just the string main, right? Main dot to object, and you have a temperature, right? Dot to double. Then you get a double value of this temperature. So this one was fetched before without imperial data. So it has the Kelvin bottom. Let's see, if our updated the API address in a HTTP manager would work. So JSON, and this one is temperature. And if you'd like to get the temperature mean, then you just copy and paste, and temperature mean is here. The last keyword should be temperature mean to double, and the same to temperature max. Okay, so let's do this. The Q debug weather, and we copy the lines, weather description and temperature, and temperature mean and temperature max, right? And let's see if we can put your weather label set text like weather is plus weather, temperature is plus qstring number temperature, right? Then we can put our weather information and current temperature information into weather label. Nice and good. And let's run it. Give it a try. Okay, so this is one, and weather download, and what you see is, okay, current weather is cloudy and temperature is 289 Kelvin, and we can see all of the information around here. This one is actually supposed to be temperature max, right? We can see all of the information is successfully fetched, but on this one again this one is in Kelvin. So let's get back to the HTTP manager, and here let's add the here round before the app ID. Unit is imperial and app ID like this. Let me go ahead and update this too in the Word file. Let's get once again and run it. Oh man, unit imperial. Why this doesn't work? Let me fix it. Units imperial. I'm sorry. Units imperial, and rerun it. Then what you get is here. Here we go. The current weather is cloudy and temperature is 61.27, and we could download our weather successfully and our image download successfully. All right, so image download is now forbidden because I disabled the key, but if you're using your own key, then it's still working, right? Nice and good. And so your job is to fetch the current weather, not only fetch the current weather as a text, but you guys are supposed to be supposed to provide a corresponding weather image. So if it is cloudy, then you should show a cloud image or something predefined, from your local, the photo file or something, displayed out. And or if it is sunny, then just draw a sun, or the sunny image, you just figure it out, download it from image repositories in the web. So Then what's gonna be the all available? The formats and weather informations. Let me show you guys one. So main weather main is a group of weather parameters. You have a dictionary. I mean, you have a glossary of the list of weather conditions. You click it, right? List of weather conditions. I mean, you have weather main, snow, and atmosphere, clear, and clouds. 1 second. So here, what you can get is, this main has rain and snow and clouds, right? Like this. This one, clouds and clear and tornado and skull, ash, dust, sand, fog, dust, haze, smoke, mist. Um, I don't know. But here, at least the snow and rain and drizzle and thunderstorm, you guys will be able to figure out easily, some of them. And, as a mist through, tornado, those are not a very major kind of main, dictionaries. I mean, so you don't necessarily have to deal with it. But for clear sky, clouds, sky, snow, and rain, and drizzle, and thunderstorm, you guys need to at least provide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 different images to display, right, depending on the different weathers. And you guys can run the app from here, like, okay, we had a 98119, so right now it's cloudy and temperature is 61, but for 8823, my Michigan, bag address is raining and 5738 and 10001 New York. Weather download is clear and temperature is like this. So you may want to give a different zip code, and then this should be able to confirm that depending on the different weathers, it shows a different image in your dashboard, right? And you need to make it refreshing automatically by every minute, right? Every 5 seconds, or every 10 seconds, or with a given duration, you guys should be able to change it, right? So that's it, and hope you guys can enjoy. I mean, mix and match and mash up, all the available, the skills and codes all together. And I'm pretty excited, and looking forward to see what you guys done. I mean, will be done for the finance project. Thank you very much.